All right, so it's been a minute since you were back here when you won it, but walking around New York City, being here at the Heisman, do you think back on your time, and if so, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, it's somebody just brought up. It's been 20 years since I won, and it was like your heart stops a second. It's like, gosh, it's been 20 years because I do remember very freshly my first trip to New York for the Heisman, and now I've been here in over the 20 years probably a dozen or two times. But I remember that excitement to be in this city. I mean, we're sitting here at Times Square, the electricity, the energy. Um, and I remember, as a young pup coming here, with my fingers crossed, hoping I was going to win, and just being in awe of this place and everything that the Heisman is and what it means to the college football world. And to be back and have another SC guy here and possibly going to win it, hopefully going to win it. It's just amazing to have my kids here with me and to them get the chance to experience it before they were even thought of 20 years ago. So it's really surreal to be back and great to be back with SC in the house.
When you won it, it seemed like it started this string of not only SC guys winning it, but if you're a quarterback, you're all of a sudden considered for it every year. Have you felt the impact of you winning it on SC in that position?
Back then, I didn't think I was going to win it because everybody was telling me I wasn't because there's this East Coast bias. And SC, being a West Coast team, Pacific time zone, they play too early. Everybody's asleep on the East Coast when you're playing. And I didn't know what to think. I was a college kid that didn't really know much. And so I kind of believed, there's a West Coast bias, and I can't win it because I'm out here and everybody's asleep when we're playing. So, that has changed. Like, you don't hear about that anymore because back then, 20 years ago, nobody really from the Midwest to the Pacific Ocean had won the award in years. I think like Rashawn Salam was the one prior to me, and so everybody from the SEC and the Big Ten was winning it, and so I just kind of assumed that that's just kind of how it goes, and I don't think that's the case anymore. I think since Pete Carroll's run at SC, since some of the great players that have come out of the state of California high school system and stayed on the West Coast and not gone to Alabama like Bryce did or what have you, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think people understand there's great talent. I mean, you know that quarterback world. There's a ton of quarterbacks that come out of the state of California and just the West Coast in general from the high school leagues. So, I don't think that's the case anymore, but here's a great litmus test, right? Let's see if there's a West Coast bias, because a lot of these guys that have voted didn't start watching Caleb play until maybe November when they heard about this guy from, transfer from Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley and all that. So I think we'll see a lot tonight. If this is a landslide victory, I don't think there is a bias. And I think SC is back and people understand that there's great talent on the West Coast.
All right, so Caleb, what have you noticed about him being the guy who's had the career that you've had? What's impressed you about him? And where do you think he'll sit now, as he may have a seat at the table, you and Matt and some of the other greats at SC?
Everything impresses me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys you go, it's his pocket presence, it's his accuracy, speed, quickness, toughness. He's Houdini when he needs to be, but he can also sit in the pocket and take hits and stand in the pocket strong and throw the ball when he's getting hit in the mouth. And I just don't think there is one strength to his game. I don't know what it is, because as elusive as he is, as quick as he is, I mean, you see him pulling away from defensive backs. He's got so much velocity on the ball when he gets outside the pocket. I mean, that's a great asset. That is a tremendous strength. But he has so many tools in his toolkit. I don't think there is one thing that jumps out at me. It's his overall game. He's poised. He's a leader. He's mature. He's a vet. Although he hasn't played that many games yet. I mean, you can just go on, and I can't think of another quarterback that's come out in the last 10 or 15 years, other than maybe Andrew Luck, that you're like, man, he's really good at this, and you keep counting in your fingers. And so it's not one thing with him, and that's so rare. There's normally, you look at Tom Brady, and it's like his pocket presence, and he's a field general. You watch Aaron Rodgers play, and it's the velocity on the football. But this guy has both of those things and the speed, toughness. I mean, he played almost a half of football last week with one leg and wouldn't let himself come out of the game. He's got it all. He's the entire package.
Awesome, man. Thanks for spending time with us. What a weekend for USC in that position, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you, Yogi.